Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Today, I kind of wanted to talk about the idea of that conflict people have that when you're going through something or you're in pain or you're struggling, that's when you feel the most seen. It's because you get the most attention, right? You get the most care and love in that time because you're experiencing a tough time and people need to be there for you. But the problem is that that attention, maybe if they don't really have much going on in life, hobbies or anything that's growing in their life, and so they seek their identity from this care, this love that they've never gotten normally. And so it creates this conflict of like, why am I only being seen when I'm in trouble or when I'm in a bad spot? So I kind of just wanted to talk about it today. It's like you feel a sense of connecting with people in a deeper sense when you're in a part that's when you're in struggles. It's like that feeling that you're connecting with people more when you're in a bad spot. It's like when you understand someone deeper when they're going through something, like if they go through the same struggles as you and you see that, they're like, oh, you can be like, oh no, I know what that's like, you can do this to get better, you can do this, you're gonna be okay, like that kind of love. People really appreciate that. And it creates the conflict, like I said before, that this struggle or this bad thing is the only sense of identity, this only sense of value or relatability that you have with someone. When you touch on other topics, you don't relate with them, or you don't like the same things or whatever, but it doesn't strike up a conversation as good as something like trauma or bad experiences. And then it creates this fear of like, oh, if I get better or if I get out of this environment, these people are not going to like me anymore. It's like the same environment of smoking, when you smoke with other people and you get in that environment and you smoke with your other friends and then you start to not smoke anymore. And sometimes people rag on people for doing that, like, oh, why aren't you having a smoke with me? That kind of thing. So you're going away from the environment and you lose that identity of like hanging out with your mates and having a drink or having a smoke, and then they kind of distance themselves from you, and it's kind of like, why am I not myself? Why are you looking at me for just like who I am when I'm drunk, or who I am when I'm smoking, or who I am when I'm high, for example? I see that as a common issue. And then so they keep going on this addiction and they keep being in a bad spot because it's what they see is valuable from them. And it's the biggest problem when they have, family issues where they haven't been cared for, or they don't feel that love from other people, that unconditional love, and they only feel that love when they're in bad spots. So now it creates this unhealthy relationship of being in a bad spot is good, but it's bad as well, but that's the only care that they've truly felt in life. So it creates this huge conflict, and yeah, it's just really unhealthy. But the important thing to take out of this is that you need to surround yourself with people that accept you for when you're in the bad spot, but also in your good times, like celebrate your progress, celebrate the small victories, like, getting up and going to work and not smoking or whatever, and getting away from your addiction or whatever, as well as like getting a job, getting higher up in status. Some people get jealous, when they see that, hey, my guy that was in a bad spot, that we're in this bad spot together, and I see my friend is higher up than me. That's not how it works. It's like, no, we should celebrate our progress, be happy for them, and don't compare ourselves to them. I see that a lot with friends, and they feel like jealous that someone without a job, someone else found a job, and they're like, oh man, now that guy doesn't hang out with me as more because they have a job or they have a girlfriend or whatever, and like now I'm a little bit more lonely than what I used to. So then they take out that anger on them for actually getting a job or actually getting a girlfriend or whatever, and they say like, oh, they're just lucky, whatever, they have this so many excuses for that. And it's just kind of ridiculous. Like you're supposed to be that friend. You're supposed to be that person that is happy for them instead of just comparing yourselves to them. People care too much about comparing themselves to them and being like, oh, since this person's better, I should be doing this. It's like there's good sides to it and there's bad sides to it, right? It's like you having your gym friends, right? Like someone going to the gym and you see them getting better physically kind of promotes you to be. It kind of shows that they're better physically and promotes that healthy lifestyle, right? And then it kind of becomes inherent. It's like, hey, you want to go to the gym with me today? Like that kind of thing. And that's great, right? But there's also a negative part, right? Where someone else gets a job and someone else a thing, and it creates this negative undertone to that person when you see them. And I just feel like that attitude is so not right. It's like, not only should it encourage you to also be like that, get your status up, get a job, get in a better situation. Why would you be jealous? Because you know what their true intentions and what, they're unless they're not a good friend, you should know that, they have like good intentions, and they're doing it, they're just on their way in a better path. And like, life is taken differently sometimes. You have different progress and different stages of life. Like, shouldn't be comparing yourself so much to other people. But I mean, also from that perspective is that, of course, like I said before, you should surround yourself with a positive friend group. You should surround yourself that encourage you during your bad times or during your good times, like, encourage you to get better, be there for you positively, not encourage bad behavior, and be like, especially when they know it's an addiction or something bad for you, they should, understand and see where you are mentally and how it's affecting you physically and mentally. And it's like, because they're your friend, right? Isn't that what a friend is for? I don't know. Maybe I'm kind of out of touch. I feel like that's a friend. A friend is someone that looks out for you mentally and physically. They don't, they don't use you. They don't, it's not like a temporary thing, like, unless it's just like circumstantial and like you guys don't click anymore, that's fine. But like, I feel like a friend is someone that you can rely on, someone that you can, talk and be very transparent with. You don't have to be in a certain environment to kind of, click and have a conversation and be real. But healing shouldn't be like, oh, I need to be in isolation and away from my friends and everything. No, it should be, your friends should be there for you, and they should be there for you while you're healing on your way to a more positive path, not discouraging you, not getting jealous, not getting anything like that. Make sure to surround yourself with a positive support group. Always know, if you don't have that support group, there are people there willing to talk, willing to give you advice, willing to listen, willing to, help you in any way possible, because they care, truly. It's not about that money, they really actually truly care. They want to see you do better. Creating an identity shouldn't rely on only your negative parts of life. It shouldn't rely on your trauma, your bad experiences. It should rely also on your positive aspects of life, your positive characteristics of who you are truly, your actions, your words, or whatever. But yeah, try to combine that all together to create a good sense of identity, not just that troubling sense of identity. But that's pretty much it in today's video. I kind of just wanted to talk about it. I really thought it was an interesting concept, because I see like it's kind of like a struggle that I see from different friends and people that I've met. But yeah, I kind of want to just point it out and make sure that if you feel like this, you know what your steps are, and try to be in a better place, because I know what it's like and I know what you feel, but I'm proud of you for realizing and taking the courage to realize, be honest with yourself, kind of thing. But you got this, all right? Much love as always. I appreciate every comment, like, subscribe, all those things. I pay attention to it. I see it. I'm really happy. And I'll see you in the next one.